When I was a sophomore in college, the girl I was dating at the time, who now just happens to be my wife, was in school 2.5 hours away. So if I wanted to see her, which I desperately did, I'd be spending a lot of time driving, which I definitely did. The problem with this was that whether it was going to her college after a long week of classes or coming home after a wonderful weekend of fun, I was typically exhausted, and staying awake for the drive was often somewhat challenging. Back in those days, it's not like I could pick up the phone and call somebody to keep me entertained on the trip, and honestly, I can drink a gallon of Mountain Dew or an entire pot of coffee and go right to sleep. So caffeine wasn't much help either. There was, however, one thing that did keep me energized and awake. Smokeless tobacco, otherwise known as dip. I know, it's a disgusting habit, but it's been a habit, or more accurately, an addiction, that I had for 20 years. For 2 decades, I'd dip in my car, my office, my house, on the golf course, or pretty much wherever I was, as long as there were no people around. Because the truth is, I was rather embarrassed of my habit, so I tried to keep it secret. And since I didn't want others to know about it, I actually made decisions based on whether or not I'd be able to dip. Now that, my friend, is what's known as a bad habit. And most everybody has at least one, right? Maybe you drink too much or cuss more than you should. Perhaps you overeat or spend hours and hours and hours on social media. We've all got a habit or two that we'd love to break, don't we? And as one who struggled for years to quit dipping, I can tell you for certain, breaking a bad habit ain't exactly easy. But not all habits are bad habits. Getting your homework done as soon as you get home from school, or going to the gym every day, or flossing your teeth, or even bathing every day, these would be considered good habits, especially that last one. Unfortunately, however, just like bad habits are often very hard to stop, good habits are equally difficult to start. I can't tell you how many times I've tried something new, something positive in my life, only for it to fizzle out after a week or two. Okay, usually it's a day or two. What's worse, sometimes when we finally get into the habit and things are going great, something happens to throw us completely off track. The next thing you know, we're starting all over again from square one. And for quite a few folks out there, that's what happened with going to church. On average, for just about every congregation in the country, worship attendance has been down 40 to 50% since coming back from the pandemic. Granted, some people are still playing it safe, and there are those who really enjoy worshiping online. Then there are a handful who didn't like the way things were handled with the whole COVID thing, and then either their church went back too fast or didn't go back fast enough, so they found a new congregation that better suited their needs. For the most part, however, those who haven't come back aren't upset about anything or are worried about catching COVID. I think it's also fairly safe to say that most of them haven't traded in-person worship for an online option either. The fact of the matter is, the vast majority of those who haven't come back to church have simply gotten out of the habit of being there. Prior to all this mess, getting up on Sunday mornings and heading out to worship was a no-brainer for them. But after months and months of that not being an option, good Christians simply filled that time with something else. Again, folks have merely gotten out of the habit. Now make no mistake, going to church is a habit. It says as much in the book of Hebrews, where he says, "And let us consider how to provoke one another to love and good deeds, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." Look, my friend, throughout all of Scripture, it never says that faith is something that we can do apart from others, but rather it's something that we do together. Therefore, if you've gotten out of the habit of coming to worship, that's okay. It's normal. But don't you think it's time? You need us. We need you. It's time to get back in the habit, because every good habit has to start somewhere. And in this case, it's as easy as just showing up. I'm Pastor Stephen Mims, and that's your word for Wednesday. May God bless you.